What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. You saw the title. It's finally time to talk about our favorite albums of 2024. And this list is fucking stacked, okay? So I'm going to leave them linked in the description. If you haven't heard any of these records, I highly recommend you click that description and check them out if you haven't yet. Let's get started with Vampire Weekend at number 10 with Only God Was Above Us. I thought this was a great return to form for Vampire Weekend. I haven't loved an album like this from them so much since Contra, back when I heard it for the first time in 8th grade. That was actually the first album that I heard from Vampire Weekend. And I think that's why this album sticks with me so much, is because it gives me that nostalgia factor while also giving me that kind of newly refined sound that Vampire Weekend has been toying around with. There are so many songs on here, specifically like Capricorn, that give me that vibe from Contra. And I think that's why, like I said, the album stuck with me so hard. At number 9, we have Couch Slut with You Could Do It Tonight. I actually wasn't familiar with this band until 2024, but this record single-handedly cemented them as one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite releases in the past 5 years. I love how noisy, emotional, heavy, and brooding this whole record is. And I also love how relatable some of the lyrical content can be on this record. It kind of brings you back to being that grimy outcast in high school, and I love that shit. Number 8, we originally had Charli XCX with Brat, but I actually think that upon some re-listens, I want to change it to the remix record because there are so many songs on here, like the Von Dutch remix, the Talk Talk remix, the Girl So Confusing remix, so many of them that add so much context and so much more dimension to songs that were already so flushed out on the original Brat. I think this album just gave me a lot that I didn't even know that I needed. So that's why I'm changing it to that one instead of the original. At number 7, we have Pharmakon with Maggot Mask. I've been a huge fan of Pharmakon since I was in high school. They're probably my favorite noise artist at the moment, and I was super excited to see what type of theme she was going to be exploring and what kind of sound she was going to be experimenting with on this record. And I'm proud to say that this is one of my favorite records, probably my favorite record from her. I think this is my favorite record from her. I love the lyrical content on here, going back to nature and like returning to earth. It really feels like she ripped it out of my brain. These are a lot of themes that I've been toying with myself throughout 2024. So it was really crazy to hear them on a Pharmakon record. It felt very vindicating, and I love that. At number 6, we have one of the best hardcore bands in music right now. We have Speed with Only One Mode. Seeing the videos of them performing this record live just cemented it as one of my favorite releases from 2024. This album is amazing, bruh. It's so heavy. It really brings you back to that classic hardcore vibe. Every time I hear a band from Australia, they be putting a little bit more punch in whatever they be doing. I swear to God, they put something in the water down there, bro. Something down under. I swear, they be going crazy. But I'm excited to see where Speed goes in 2025. Hopefully getting to see them live in 2025 as well. So it's only up for this band. I swear they're going to be huge. I can't wait to see them progress from where they already are. At number 5, we have Chat Pile with Cool World. Chat Pile continues to be one of the craziest bands in the music scene right now. I've loved them ever since I heard their record God's Country. This took all the sounds that I heard on their first couple records and just expanded on them, made them crazier. The lyrical content still is just like Chat Pile. I feel like this is one of the perfect albums for 2024 because this was a very weird year for life in general, and I feel like this kind of Cool World as an album kind of matched that in a way, and it was really interesting to hear. Sorry about that, y'all. My camera fucking died, but I was just gushing about Cool World, so it's fine. Number 4, we have PeelingFlesh with the G Code, and actually for the longest time I thought this was finna be my album of the year because I was dick riding this record so hard for the first few months after it came out. This is definitely one of my favorite heavy releases in recent memory, bro. I think that PeelingFlesh took all the sounds that they've been working towards in the past few years and working with as a band and put it together in this perfect little bundle, bro. This perfect little heavy little bundle, and it's amazing. And there were so many samples on here, like the Lil Got It sample and the Ghetto Preacher sample. It was like going into a fucking time machine. I used to watch that video all the time with my friends of that Ghetto Preacher, and hearing it in a PeelingFlesh record was insane, bruh. At number 3, we have Nettspend with Badass Fucking Kid, and I will defend this record until the day I fucking die, bro. I can't explain how much I love this album, but the more I listened to it, the less unironic it got, and the more I was like, damn, this nigga actually made some art for real. Damn near all the songs on this album are great, bro. I love the Growing Up intro. I love Tyla. Tommy is probably the one song that I keep on continuing to go back to the most. Perk Soda is really good. Skipping Class, even Skipping Class, bro. That was probably the only song on the record that didn't really vibe with me the first time I heard it, but the more I listened to it, like I said, this album just keeps on growing on me. I feel like Nettspend actually has a lot of potential, and I also feel like people can see that. So I'm excited to see how he progresses from here. All right, y'all, here we are. At number 2, we have Knocked Loose with You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To. And this was actually my top album of 2024 up until yesterday when I redid this whole list. But this album was everything I wanted to hear from Knocked Loose, and I've been a fan of them since I was 16. I feel like there are so many sounds that they've been experimenting leading up to this record that were just nailed on this album. It was all killer, no filler, super angry but super tight, super clean, super consistent. Everything on this album smacks, bro, and Poppy's feature on Suffocate is amazing. And seeing this album live too, I feel like just skyrocketed it to the top of the list for me, because I really got to see how tight they were as a band performing this album, and seeing Brian play guitar live was crazy. It was crazy. All right, y'all, it's time. It's time. Our number 1 top album of 2024, the album of the year, is JPEGMAFIA with I Lay Down My Life For You. What can I even say about this album, bro? I feel like this is everything you love to hear from Peggy, wrapped up in a nice little bow. It was all killer, no filler on this record too. The production is insane. The production is insane. I love the guitars on here. I love the drums on here. I love the noisy production on here. This is everything I wanted to hear from Peggy, and I didn't even know it yet. I had loved every album that he had dropped before this, but this is, I feel like, his magnum opus. I feel like this is genuinely my favorite JPEGMAFIA album, and that's coming from someone who's been listening to him since I was in high school. And that's also what my friend said too when I told him that this was my album of the year. My friend who saw the concert with me, he was like, yeah, this is definitely my favorite project from Peggy so far. Seeing this record perform live was actually one of the first times in a while that I've been genuinely happy. I haven't danced that hard in a long time. I got to see all my favorite songs by Peggy perform live. I got to experience it with my friends, and there are a lot of things that happened at that show that were like 1 in a million that I got to experience. Now every time I listen to this album, I just have those memories cemented along with the fantastic music that goes along with it. Peggy's a special artist, man. We genuinely got to protect this nigga at all costs. And if there's anything that cemented this album for number 1 for me personally, besides seeing it live, besides the production, besides the lyrical content, besides his flow, besides the sampling, it's that fucking outro, bro. That outro is perfect. And once again, seeing it live was a genuinely emotional experience, bro, and getting to experience that with my friends is a memory that I'll never forget, and I have to thank JPEGMAFIA for that. All right, y'all, that's it. That's my list. That's my top 10 albums of 2024, with JPEGMAFIA taking the crown as my favorite album from this year. Thank you guys so much for all the support for the channel this year, man. Thank you for all the new subscribers, all the likes, all the watch time. I really appreciate it, man. This week has been rough, bro. Doing all this editing by myself has been crazy. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in, all the likes and all the comments. It really means a lot to me. I just want to raise a glass because it is New Year's Eve, bro. This is the first time that List Week has actually ended on the 31st of December. So it's New Year's right now. It's midnight in like 3 hours. So I want to raise a glass to you guys. Thank you guys so much for an amazing year. I hope you guys, if you're celebrating, celebrate safely. Have a great 2025, man. It's about to get weird, but you know what? We just gotta stick together. We just gotta build our communities and just hang in there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. You guys mean a lot to me. See you guys next year. Fuck off.
Look, I ain't really into flashing. I feel like an accident I'm never chose. Baby talking voice of passion. I feel like it's corny if you ain't on code. Niggas be on my dick for nothing. I be like, what happened to these niggas, bro?